Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. What y'all got going on, man? What is up? 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 We're gonna be talking about what we always talking about. What's going on, Stacy? How you doing? Give me a second. We on 2 platforms, so we just getting everything set up on both platforms. We're gonna be talking about the fact that you could be, do, and have anything you desire. We're gonna be talking about the fact that your only limit in life is your own imagination. If you could think it, you could do it. If you can't think it, you can't do it. If you can't think it, you can't do it. What is going on? What is up? What is up? What is up? Just give me a second while give me a second while I'm getting everything set up. What's going on, Cafe? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. What you got going on? Let's add these books down here that we've been talking about. Shout out to everybody who came to the live last night. We went in. We had a good old time. We had a good old time. What's going on, Cafe? What's going on, Barry? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. What y'all got going on this morning, man? Happy Monday. Yeah, Monday. Happy Monday. We're gonna be talking about what we always talk about. We're gonna be talking about the fact. Appreciate you for getting your daily heart meat cafe. We're gonna be talking about the fact that you could be, do, and have anything you desire. Anything you desire. Nothing is off limits. Your only limit is your own imagination. We had this conversation day after day, time after time, because this is the foundation that changes everything. Rich Rising, you working? What you working on? This is the foundation that changes everything. The sooner you realize that nothing can stop you, the government can't stop you, the economy can't stop you, disease can't stop you, diagnosis can't stop you, depression can't stop you, PTSD can't stop, nothing can stop you. The sooner you realize that every problem is a thinking problem. If you could think your way into it, you could think your way out of it. And you start altering your thinking, oh man, everything around you has no choice but to change. Somebody's comments got filtered. I don't know what you said. TikTok, for whatever reason, they didn't like it. They did not like it. So you got to say it again in a different way. Let me clean my camera. I feel like it's cloudy. It looks smudgy. What's going on, Gina? How you doing? Jania? What's going on over here on YouTube? What y'all got going on? What's going on, Jackson? How you doing? What's going on, Helen? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. So yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about the fact that you could be, do, and have anything you desire. We're gonna be talking about how every problem is a thinking problem. If you could think it, you can do it. If you can't think it, you can't do it. I don't care how much willpower you use. I don't care how many techniques you learn. If you can't hold it in your head, you'll never hold it in your hands. But if you hold it in your head, you'll start to accidentally hold it in your hands. You got to start thinking about what you want. You got to start putting your attention on what you want. Think about it. When you think about what you don't want, do you have to try to feel bad? Do you have to try to feel down? Do you have to try to feel overwhelmed? Or is that just the natural result of focusing on what you don't want? What's going on, Will? What's going on? How you doing, man? When you focus on what you don't want, you don't got to try to feel bad. Just keep focusing on what you don't want. What's going on, Jackson? I'm gonna talk to you now. You was on some BS at first, but what's up, man? Welcome to the fam. What's going on, Deanna? How y'all doing? So I just did, man. So this is what we gonna do, y'all. We got TikTok going over here. We got YouTube Live going over here. We're gonna see which side get the most active. We're gonna see which side go the most crazy. And I'm gonna do whichever side go the most crazy, whichever side get the most active. That's the one I'm gonna exclusively go live on tonight. I'm going live tonight, but we're gonna let TikTok and YouTube battle it out to see who get the livest. I ain't gonna lie, right now, YouTube winning. Right now, YouTube winning. What's going on, Eric? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. We had a lot of fun on TikTok last night. We read on Feeling Is the Secret by Neville Goddard. I got the Neville collection tag down below if you guys want to get it. I don't think I can tag products over here on YouTube. Still doing my thing, man. What else am I gonna do? This is all I'm good at. This is all I've wanted to do since I was like 14 years old, man. What the hell else am I gonna do? This is all I've thought about. This is all I've read about. This is all I've studied. I ain't took the time to get good at nothing else. Shout yourself out. What you want me to shout you out for? What's going on, Rose and Red? Appreciate you. Thanks for the gift, Jason. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. Follow Jason and y'all make content. Jason, Deanna, y'all make content. Y'all funny. Y'all play all day over here, man. Appreciate the gifts, man. Appreciate the love. If you could think it, you could do it. Every problem is a thinking problem. If you could think your way into it, you could think your way out of it. Oh shit. YouTube, TikTok got mad. TikTok said YouTube is not beating us. TikTok over here going crazy. Let me see ones in the chat if this your first time in here. If this your first time in here kicking it with me. If this your first time in here vibing with us. You sad? Don't do that. Figure out what you want and start thinking about it. What's going on, Soul? How you doing? Welcome to the live. What's going on, Christina? What's going on, Jean? There's a glare on my phone. This is not making it impossible, but boys, it's making it tough to read the comments. If this your first time in here, man, I'm Coach Jay. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I hypnotize people. I work with a lot of athletes, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs, executives, and I'm a firm believer that every problem is a thinking problem. I don't care if it's a I want to make more money problem. I don't care if it's a I don't like my body problem. I don't care if it's a my marriage isn't going smoothly problem. If you change the way you think, you'll accidentally change the way you feel, and you'll accidentally change the way you act. Most people skip right to trying to alter behavior while never addressing the thinking and feelings that gave birth to the behavior. And that's what keeps them stuck. Most people try to stack new processes on top of the same thinking and feeling. Most people try to put a new career on top of the same thinking and feeling to create the old career. They go to a new relationship with the same thinking and feeling that broke the last relationship. You got to change what's going on in here and change what's going on in here before you can have a different result out there. Everything going on out there is a reflection of what's going on in here and in here. Okay? If you change the way you think and feel, you'll accidentally change the way you eat. If you change the way you think and feel, you'll accidentally change how you treat your money. If you change the way you think and feel, you'll accidentally price your services different. You'll accidentally negotiate your salary different. But if you don't change the way you think and feel, I don't care how many books you read about negotiation, you're not finna go in that office and get the results you want. If you don't change the way you think and feel, I don't care how many TED Talks you watch, you're not gonna become a speaker. You have to feel it before you can be it. I work with a lot of athletes. I always tell my athletes, you don't get a trophy and then become a champion. What happens is you become a champion. You become a champion. Now, when you become a champion, you're going to accidentally start showing up to practice early and leaving practice late. When you become a champion, you're going to accidentally start saying a champion wouldn't eat that, a champion wouldn't eat this. A champion wouldn't stay up there late, a champion would go to bed at this time. When you just start being a champion, you're going to accidentally start having the behaviors of a champion. And as you have the behaviors of a champion, guess what you're going to do? You're going to accidentally win a trophy. But if you waiting on a trophy to activate your champion, you'll never get a trophy. Trophies don't make champions, champions make trophies. Does that make sense? Money doesn't make a millionaire makes money. So if you're waiting on money to make you a millionaire, you'll never become a millionaire. What's going on, Jackson? If you're waiting on a trophy to become a champion, you'll never become a champion. If you're waiting on a relationship to feel loved, you'll never find the relationship. You have to get in the feeling first, and from the feeling you create the result. But if you're trying to create the result from outside of the feeling, you're hustling backwards. You hustling backwards. Put your attention on what you want. Start focusing on what you want. Start thinking on purpose. You are not an accident. You got to start thinking on purpose. You got to start feeling on purpose. You are not an accident. Stop letting your thoughts bully you. Stop letting your emotions bully you. You got to get in the habit of asking yourself, what do I want? What do I want? And you got to start thinking in that direction on purpose. I remember being in the military. I hated being in the military. I didn't like being in the military because I couldn't grow my beard, couldn't wear my nose ring, couldn't wear my earrings, couldn't live where I wanted to live, couldn't go where I wanted to go. There was so many rules, so many restrictions. And for the longest time, I would find other people who were in the military and we would talk about what we didn't like. We would complain together. We would share stories about what we didn't like, and we kept going on TDYs. We kept going on deployments. We kept being in the military. Okay? My whole life started to change. Now notice, I didn't say changed overnight. My whole life started to change when I just started talking about what I wanted. When I started focusing on what I wanted. I want to grow my beard. I want to be able to wear my nose ring. I don't want to work. I want to play. I want to get paid to do things that I would do for absolutely free. I want to talk about mindset. I want to talk about self-development. I want to talk about hypnosis and NLP and psychology and human behavior. As I started talking about that often, I started reading books about that. I started listening to podcasts about that. I started watching YouTube videos about that. I started meeting other people who wanted that same thing. I started meeting people who worked in that field. I started said, wait, you do that for a living? He said, yeah, that's what I do for a living. Like, that's all you do. Like, that's not your side job. You a full-time hypnotherapist. Yeah. Okay, so it's possible. I started collecting evidence that it was possible. I started reverse engineering what people had already was doing. Then I realized, oh shit, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. It's doable. It's possible. It's in reach. But it started with me getting clear about what I want. You got to understand that you can't get what you want until you know what you want. And knowing what you don't want is not the same thing as knowing what you want. I meet so many people that are experts at what they don't want. Experts at what they don't want. Can tell you all the details about what they don't want. Can tell you who fault it is, why they don't have it, the economy, and what's going. They can tell you every individual thing about what they don't want. But the instant you say, okay, well, what would you rather have? They don't know. They can't articulate. Well, Jay, I just want to be happy. Or Jay, I don't know. I just kind of, I don't know. You can't get what you want until you know what you want. If you don't know what you want, do yourself a favor. Do not go to bed tonight without some clarity about what you want. Sit down for a little bit. Some of that time you spend it on TikTok. Some of that time you spend it on YouTube. Take some of that time back to sit down and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? And as you just start putting your attention on what you want, you're going to accidentally start coming up with some really good ideas. You're going to accidentally start meeting some cool people. You're going to accidentally discover some books. You're going to accidentally find a school community where they're giving you the exact things that you need. But it's got to start with you getting clear about what you want. Jay, I just want to start a business. Okay, do you want to start a business or do you just hate your job? Let's get clear. I'm not saying that you shouldn't start a business. I'm saying let's get clear about what you want, what you really want. Let's get not what you think you got to do to get away from this thing that you don't like. What do you want? Jay, I want freedom. I want choice. I want to wake up when I want to wake up. I want to go to bed when I want to go to bed. Jay, I like cooking. Jay, I like cutting hair. Jay, I like, what do you want? You got to start having that conversation, and you got to make time consistently for that conversation. You might not get all the clarity that you out there in one sitting. You might not, it might not all come to you in 5 minutes. What's going on, Tuck? How you doing, man? It might not come to you in all one sit, in just one sitting. You might have to play with it. You might have to come and go out and live a little life. But if you don't have an idea about what you want, I always tell my clients, start with what you don't like. Look at what you don't like and ask yourself, what would I rather have? What do I do for a living as a job? I'm a hypnotist. What's going on, Jamie? How you doing? Let's say Jameen. Oh, let's say Janine. What's going on, Janine? I'm sorry. It's a weird glare on my phone. You know what? Actually, I'm about to reposition my car. Hold on, TikTok. I'm gonna be right back. YouTube don't really care. But TikTok don't want me driving on. Let me reposition my car. so I can get rid of these glares. And I can see y'all's comments that much easier. You work with animals? What you do with the animals? Alright, yeah, that's better. Alright, yeah, that's a lot better. I can see y'all now. I can see the comments. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Anybody got any questions about anything we talked about so far? People who just tapping in, we talking about the fact that you could be doing have anything you desire. Nothing is off limits. Every problem is a thinking problem. If you can think it, you can do it. And if you can feel it, you'll do it on accident. When you feel angry, you'll accidentally knock stuff over. When you feel angry, you'll accidentally curse people out. When you feel angry, you might accidentally scream. You might accidentally stomp your feet, slam the doors. You don't got to try to do that. Those are the behaviors that align with being angry. Every feeling has a set of behaviors that follow it. If you want to be successful, start feeling successful. When you start feeling successful, you accidentally put your shoulders back, put your chest out, put your chin up. If you just start feeling successful, you'll accidentally start articulating yourself better. You accidentally start reading books that successful people read. You work at a veterinarian office, that's what's up. What's going on, Stock? What's going on, Ari? How y'all doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. We're really just kicking it, talking about the fact that every problem is a thinking problem. If you can think it, you can do it. What's going on, Raw? But you gotta start thinking on purpose. If you want to like live in your purpose, you got to think on purpose. You're gonna have a hard time living in your purpose while acting like an accident. You're not an accident. You got to start thinking on purpose. You got to start feeling on purpose. You got to start living on purpose. That's why it's called purpose. It's not how do I discover my accident, how do I discover my purpose? Start living on purpose. Start getting intentional. Start asking yourself, what do you want? What do you desire? And be careful, not what they're selling to you, not what they're showing me over and over again on TikTok, not what they're showing me over and over again on YouTube. What do I want? What do I want? Not what my parents want for me, not what my spouse wants for me. What do I want? Answer that question. Answer that question and then start calibrating to the answer of that question. And I'm telling you, man, you're gonna wow yourself. You're gonna amaze yourself. Your only limit is your own imagination. Say that out loud. My only limit is my own imagination. My only limit is my own imagination. If I can think it, I can do it. If I can think it, I can do it. If I can feel it, I'll do it on accident. You got to start feeling on purpose. How would I feel if I was already the man I desire to be? Start practicing that feeling. How would I feel if I was already the woman I desire to be? How would I feel if I was already the type of entrepreneur that I desire to be? Start practicing that feeling. Until you get in that feeling, you don't even have access to the ideas that align with that feeling. I just had help with a dog that has a broken leg, and that dog was very nervous, but I love animals because they are the best. That's what's up, Jacob. That's what's up, Jacob. How old are you, Jacob? What's going on, Nina? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Drink a little bit of this water. This coffee got my $26. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I asked myself, what's my purpose, and was blank. You ain't got to ask yourself what's your purpose. You just got to start following your desires. The desires will lead you to your purpose. Like look at it like a acorn. An acorn can't be nothing but an oak tree because that's what God sent it here to be. An apple seed can't be nothing but an apple tree. That's what God sent it here to be. Whatever your purpose is, it's in you. And you are already doing it on accident. You just got to start living in a purposeful way and actually entertaining your desires. And as you actually start entertaining your desires, as you actually start looking at what you don't like and asking yourself, what would I rather have? You're going to end up accidentally doing your purpose. I was telling them last night on the live that as I was eulogizing my grandmother, I realized that her purpose was being a caretaker. Her purpose was taking care of people. She didn't have to try to do that. That's just who she was. She looked out for people. She wanted to cook for people. She wanted to feed people. She wanted to nurse people back to health. That was her purpose. It was who she was. She didn't have to use willpower to do it. She didn't need a pep talk to do it. She didn't need a pat on the back to do it. That's just who she was. So she accidentally did that. And she created an amazing life doing her purpose. You living in your purpose, whether you getting paid for it or not. You living in your purpose, whether you can recognize for it or not. But the Bible says your gift makes room for you, and in order for that gift to make room for you, you got to start doing that thing on purpose. You got to start getting intentional with that thing. Like, I've been a motivator my entire life. Before I was getting paid to motivate, before I was getting paid to inspire people, before I had professional athletes and executives on the schedule, this is who I am. This is the gift that God gave me. God gave me the ability to motivate, gave me the ability to inspire people. God gave me the ability to look at people and see the real them. I don't care what your bank balance is right now. I don't care what limitations you think you got right now. I can look in you and I can see that version of you that you forgot about. That's my purpose. That's my purpose. Now, when I was in the military, they weren't paying me to activate that purpose, but that's who I am. That's my purpose. So I was activating everybody around me because that's my purpose. When I was working for Geek Squad, that's not what Geek Squad was paying me for, but that's who I am because that's how God made me. So even though I wasn't getting paid for it at the time, that's my purpose. That's who I am. So whatever your purpose is, you already doing it. I don't know if it's cooking. I don't know if it's doing care. I don't know if it's talking. I don't know if it's telling stories. I don't know what your purpose is, but whatever it is, God put it in you as he fashioned you. So you ain't got to go looking for it. It's in you. At your core. What you got to start asking yourself is, what do I want? What do I desire? Since I can be, do, and have anything I desire, what do I want? And you got to start letting that lead your attention. You got to start focusing in that direction. And as you focus in that direction, your purpose is going to play a role in that, and you're going to accidentally discover, oh, I got a knack for that. In this area of life, my 50% looks like a lot of people 100%. This is good for me. This is easy for me. This don't feel like work for me. I like doing it, and you're going to accidentally fall into your purpose. Does that make sense? What's going on, B-Co? But when you sitting still, looking for your purpose, you're not trying nothing new. You're not casting ideas out. You're not talking to people. You're not, when you just sitting still, waiting on your purpose to get started, man, life will pass you by. What do I want? I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be my own boss. I don't know. I want to do something that doesn't feel like work. I want to play for a living. I love reading. I love like setting up stuff and design. Start having that conversation and understand you might have to have that conversation several times to like really get it narrowed down to what you want. I know when I was in the military, it started for me. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like having all these bosses. I don't like not having control of my life. I want freedom. I want choice. That was my first level of clarity. I want freedom. I want choice. I want to grow my beard. I want to wear my nose ring. I want to wear my earrings. I want to braid my hair. I want to be me. I want to express myself. It didn't start as I want to be a clinically trained hypnotherapist and work with athletes and entrepreneurs. It didn't start there. It started with, I want freedom. Yeah, I want choice. I want freedom. I want choice. I really enjoy hypnosis. I love hypnosis. I love NLP. I love psychology. I love human behavior. I want to get paid to talk about this stuff. Now, the first time I arrived at that thought, it did not feel possible. It did not feel like I could make a living doing what I do. But I kept talking about it. I kept thinking about it. And as I kept talking about it and kept thinking about it, more and more detail piled up, more and more evidence showed up. I started to meet people who were doing this thing that I wanted to do. I started seeing people who were doing this thing that I want to do. So I'll see somebody on a podcast and went, hey, okay, this guy's doing exactly what I want to do. I'll read a book and say, hey, the guy who wrote this book is doing this thing that I want to do. And I started getting more information. I just kept building momentum, and gradually it unfolded. But step one was to start thinking about what I wanted. Most people spend way too much time thinking about what they don't want. Way too much time thinking about what they don't want, dreaming about what they don't want, on the phone talking about what you don't want, on TikTok watching videos about what you don't want. Why? The same imagination that you're using to procrastinate, the same imagination that you're using to stay stuck, the same imagination that you're using to create anxiety is the same imagination you're going to use to build a dream life. You're already using your imagination. You just got to start using it in the opposite direction. What's going on, Flesh? Welcome to the room. How you doing? Welcome to the live. What's going on, Mother Love? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Is it Tuda? How you doing? Give me a second, guys. I need to respond to a message. Give me just a second. What's going on, Caleb? How you doing? What's going on, Drew? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. So guys, we talking about the fact that your only limit in life is your own imagination. If you can think it, you can do it. If you can't think it, you can't do it. But if you can think it, if you can put your attention on it, you can do it. And if you start to focus on it to the point where it starts to change how you feel, you will accidentally do it. You'll do it on accident. Nothing can stop you except for you. Nothing can stop you except for you. What's going on, Britt? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. You got to put your attention on it. Think about it. When you focus on a funny movie, you ain't got to try to laugh. Just focus on the movie. When you focus on a sad movie, you ain't got to try to get sad. Just focus on the movie. You focus on the action movie, you ain't got to try to get excited. Just focus on the movie. If you figure out what you want and just start thinking about what you want, I promise you, you will accidentally get excited. You'll accidentally get inspired. You'll accidentally get motivated. Start focusing on what you want. When you think about what you don't want, you don't got to try to get sad. You don't got to try to get overwhelmed. You don't got to try to get anxious. You don't got to try to get upset. That's the natural result to focusing on what you don't want. Stop focusing on what you don't want and start putting your attention on what you want. And watch how you accidentally start feeling in that direction. Neville Goddard wasn't lying when he said feeling is the secret. You're right, Drew. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. But you gotta dream it often. You gotta think about it all the time. Think about it all the time. Just start thinking about it. But Jay, what do I need to do? What you need to do is going to find you. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to have to do anything. You're going to have to do a lot of stuff. But what you got to do is get right in here and in here first. Step one, like I teach my clients this thing called the 5 C's. We don't even start doing stuff out there until step 4. Now, when we do stuff out there, we do a lot of stuff out there. But step 1 is getting clear about what you want. You don't know what to do until you know what you want. And most people, they know what they don't want, but they can't articulate what they want. The example that I use all the time on the live stream is, imagine if you get in a taxi and the driver says, okay, where do you want to go? And you say, don't take me to the mall. I hate the mall. The driver say, okay. That's reasonable. Where do you want to go? Man, I can't stand the mall. It's too many people up there. It's too expensive. I'm not paying no $300 for no one pair of shoes. Man, last time I went to the mall, I saw a pair of jeans that cost $125. I'm not paying $125 for no jeans. Okay, where do you want to go? You know what? I don't trust these churches and these mega pastors and they taking these people. Where do you want to go? That's how a lot of people go through life. They never pick a destination. They go through life talking about where they don't want to go. They go through life talking about what they don't want, talking about what type of woman they don't want to date, what type of man they don't want to date, what type of job they don't want to have. cool. You're not wrong for not liking that. What do you want? What do you want? You got to start having that conversation. And a lot of people think that the purpose of like affirmations and vision boards is that they're supposed to be able to look at stuff they don't like and then use affirmations to feel better. That's not how it works. You're not supposed to be looking at stuff, constantly focused on stuff that you don't like, then using a vision board to feel better. It just puts you on this seesaw of feeling bad and feeling better, feeling bad, feeling better, feeling bad, feeling better. No, you got to get in the momentum of what you want. You got to stop going back and forth. I want this because I don't have this. And the reason I don't have this because of this. But I want this. But if my dad just would have did, no, I want this. And this is why I want it. And this is why I want it. And when I get it, like, I love the way that my daughter acts for things. People like think my daughter is spoiled. And she might be. But the reason she's spoiled is because she's very good at getting in the state of what she wants. Like when she asks for things, she goes, Daddy, I just saw this dollhouse on TV, and when I get it, I'm gonna put it right beside my other dollhouse. And 7 of my Barbies gonna stay in the new dollhouse, and my other 5 Barbies gonna stay in the old one. I can't say no to her. She's already in a state of having. She knows where she's gonna put it. She's already cleaned her room and made a spot for it. She's excited. And I'm a big creator watching my little creator create. You don't think I want to help? I'm a big creator seeing my little creator be excited about something. You don't think I want to help? I'm a creator. I love creating. So when I see my small creator creating, I want to help. I want to, baby, where this dollhouse at? Okay, let's go get this dollhouse. Now imagine if that same little girl walk up to the same daddy who got access to that same pile of money, but she say, Daddy, my old dollhouse is stupid. It's not big enough. I've had it for 2 years. It's old. I need another one. She's not getting a dollhouse. She's about to get a lecture. She's about to get a talk about how some little girls don't have dollhouses at all, and she's been an ungrateful little brat about the one she has. She's finna get some more chores. She's finna get some more responsibility, but she's not getting a dollhouse from the state of not having a dollhouse. So notice how in both examples, she's asking for the same exact thing. But in the first example, she's under the influence of having that thing. She's talking about where she's going to put it, what she's going to do with it, how she's going to use it. In the second example, she's in the state of not having the dollhouse. When she's in the state of not having the dollhouse, she sounds like an ungrateful little brat. And she's not getting a dollhouse. She's getting lectures and more responsibility and more children. She's finna get a bunch of stuff that she don't want because she's under the influence of not having. Does that make sense? You got to get under the influence of what you want before you go out there and try to start networking. You got to get under the influence of what you want before you go out looking for investors. You got to get under the influence of what you want before you go out there and try to find somebody to date you. People don't want to date you when you're under the influence of what you don't want. They'll fuck you. They'll hang out with you. They'll pass time with you, but they don't want to date you while you're under the influence of what you don't want. Nobody wants to invest in your business when you're under the influence of what you don't want. Nobody wants to hire you to coach them when you're under the influence of what you don't want. Nobody wants to come to your live stream and listen to you complain. Jay, I tried TikTok, it doesn't work. I tried YouTube, I promise you it works, but in order for any other stuff to work, you got to get under the influence of what you want. Understanding funnels, understanding conversion rates and value ladders, not gonna save you if you're under the influence of what you don't want. Get under the influence of what you want. Get under the influence of having what you want and start practicing the having of what you want. And as you practice having what you want, you're gonna accidentally change the way you walk. You're gonna accidentally change the way you talk. You're gonna automatically change your body language. You're gonna automatically change the look in your eyes, and you're gonna automatically change. You gotta understand that people feel you before. You gotta understand that people feel you before they see you. It don't matter saying the right things and you got on the right outfit if your energy around you is in a state of not having. You gotta get in a state of having. And you can't have it and then get into the state. That's not how it works. You gotta get into the state, and from that state, you got access to the ideas. From that state, you got access to the connections. From that state, you're going to read books that you already read before, but you're going to see things in the book that you didn't see before because you couldn't see it from that state that you was in. You're going to go through numbers. You're going to look at numbers that you already got in your phone, but now this time you reach out, they're going to actually respond. You got to get into the state of what you want. You got to get into the state of what you want. What's going on, Ash? What's going on, Charlotte? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Does that make sense? I got really excited. My fault. Let me dial it back. Let me dial it back. Does that make sense, though? You got to get under the influence of what you want. You cannot get what you want until you know what you want and get under the influence of what you want. How do you get into the state? Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Like I always tell my clients when we're practicing the state, I don't want you using willpower to build the feeling. I want you using focus to build the feeling. I don't want you trying to conjure up a feeling of success. I don't want you trying to conjure up a feeling of gratitude. I want you to focus on things that make you feel successful. I want you to put your attention on things to where you accidentally feel that way. What about the people survival mode? It's so easy to speak when we're in a position of privilege. Even if you didn't put yourself in survival mode, you got to decide to come out of survival mode. You got to breathe your way out of survival mode. You got to think your way out of survival mode. You got to come. If you want to create the life you want, you got to come out of survival mode. It's non-negotiable. We can tell, like when I work with my clients, I always tell them, let's throw right and wrong out the window. Useful or not useful? Useful or not you? Is it useful for you to stay in that state that you're in? Well, Jay, my dad, I understand that. Is it useful for you to stay in that state you're in? Is it fair to your kids for you to stay in that state you're in? Is it fair to your spouse for you to stay in that state you're in? But Jay, you don't understand. The problem is you understand too. Useful or not useful? Are you ready to take a vacation from this state? You can go back to it if you want to. Let's get you out of that state for a second. Then if you want to go back into that state, you got free will. You can go back into that state. Give yourself permission to come out of this state. Are you ready to feel better? Are you ready to stop releasing cortisol? Are you ready to get some dopamine in your system? Are you ready to allow some serotonin in your system? Like feeling good, feeling better is a decision. Sometimes it's a really hard decision to make, but that doesn't negate the fact that it's a decision. Feeling down is a decision. Sometimes it's a really easy decision to make, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a decision. What do you want? Let's start talking about what you want. Let's start talking about what you want. Everybody doesn't have the same chemical balance in their brain. You're right, everybody doesn't have the same chemical balance. That's why we take everybody at their own pace. But I'll tell you this, one thing I've learned as a hypnotist. If you think it, you will do it. You don't have to try to do it. You don't have to, if you watch a funny movie, you don't got to try to laugh, watch the movie. If you watch a sad movie, you don't got to get sad. You don't got to try to get sad, watch the movie. Watch the movie. Independent of your chemical balance, if we start watching a different movie, we're going to get a different result. Now, that's where pacing and leading and building rapport and feedback comes in, but everybody can feel better. Everybody can feel better. Now, you are a creator, a powerful creator. If you go out to create an excuse, if you go out to create proof that this is where I am, this is where I gotta be, you're going to find it. You're going to find it. But if you use the same imagination to start creating solutions, with the understanding, I don't gotta feel perfect today, but I'm open. I'm allowing myself to feel better today. You can start to feel better. So you might go from really, really depressed to fuck everybody, I don't care. Is that the end goal? No, but it's fuck everybody, I don't care, better than depressed? Absolutely. And you might go from fuck everybody, I don't care, up a step to Jay, it's their fault. They did this to me. You might go from I don't care, fuck all of it, to blaming. It's their fault. Is that where we want you at? Nope, but is it better than depressed? Yep. And you just keep climbing up that scale. But you gotta give yourself permission to access that scale. Nothing works if you don't give yourself permission to access that scale. I didn't say you're gonna feel blissful today. I didn't say you're gonna feel extremely happy today, but you gotta go internally and say, okay, I give myself permission to feel better. I give myself permission to start the process of feeling better, whatever that looks like. For some people, it's going to look like eating different. For some people, it's going to look like starting to get out in the sun and moving your physical body. For some people, it's going to have a medical, or like a medication component to it. For some people. But when you shut that door completely because of your brain chemistry, as true as it may be, I hope you like where you're sitting, because you're going to be there without the possibility of feeling. You got to allow a possibility in. You got to allow it in. You got to. Well, you don't got to, but if you want change, you got to open your mind to, okay, this is the deck that I've been dealt, and it's possible for me to feel better than I currently feel. And if we can't have that conversation, nothing else works. Now, like, we might as well just pack up and wrap. We ain't got nothing to talk about if we can't get to that point of, okay, I'm willing to feel better. I don't even know if it's possible, Jay, but if it's possible, I'm willing to allow new information in. We'll see. I can work with that. But one thing I can't work with, even as a clinical hypnotherapist, I can't work with, this is a diagnosis that I have and it's not possible for me to feel better. If you can uncross your arms and we can just start talking, you can just start allowing yourself to gradually feel better. Your nervous system has no choice but to respond to that. Your endocrine system has no choice but to respond to that. And the thoughts that you think have a direct effect on your neurochemistry, on your biochemistry. The thoughts that you think have a direct effect on your chemistry. And a lot of people with chemical imbalances, let's be real, you damn right you have a chemical imbalance. You drink 7 days a week. You damn right you got a chemical imbalance. You run off carbs and caffeine. You damn right you got a chemical imbalance. You don't get enough sleep. You're not spending enough time in like, yeah, no shit, you have a chemical imbalance. There's a lot of people with chemical imbalances that are lifestyle induced chemical imbalances. Some people can't conjure up self-motivation. Practice makes perfect. You're going to have a hard time conjuring up anything that you don't have the neurochemistry around. If you've practiced a lot of thinking and feeling in that direction, of course, it's easier for you to access that level of thinking. We got to start slowly, building it up in the opposite direction. Everybody's going to move at their own pace. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's possible for anybody to learn. Even neurodivergent people. It's not that you can't learn, you just learn different. You just learn different, but you can learn. But that learning is going to take you buying into the process. You're going to have to take your faith out of that diagnosis and put that faith into your desired result. Some people go, well, Coach, I don't got faith. Oh, you got faith. You're just using it against you right now. You believe in something. That belief that you using to keep that alive, let me borrow that belief for a second. If we start using this belief in this direction over here, it's going to have an effect. I didn't say you're going to get the whole thing in one sitting, but it's going to have an effect. It's going to have an effect. What's going on somewhere? How you doing? Welcome to the live. What's up? So we in two places right now. We got YouTube going right here. We got TikTok going over here. If I've missed any comments over on either side, send them again. What's going on, Jewelry Box? How you doing? Every problem is a thinking problem. If you can think it, you can do it. If you can think it, you can do it. And if you can feel it, you'll do it on accident. When you feel upset, you'll accidentally knock stuff over. When you feel upset, you'll accidentally raise your voice. You'll accidentally slam the door, stump your feet, roll your eyes, because that's the behavior that aligns with feeling upset. When you feel tired, you'll accidentally fall asleep. When you feel motivated, when you feel inspired, you'll accidentally get up and start moving. You don't got to control your behavior. What you got to control is your focus and your feeling. I always tell my clients, do not use willpower to change what's going on out there. Do not use willpower to build new behavior. Use willpower to recondition what's going on in here and what's going on in here. And as you change that, you're going to accidentally start doing some different stuff out there. You're going to accidentally start doing some stuff out there. You don't use willpower to control your body. You use willpower to control your mind. It's not your job to control your body. It's your mind's job to control your body. Think about that. It's not your job to tell your body what to do. It's your mind's job to tell your body what to do. Your job is to program your mind in a way where it accidentally tells your body to do beneficial things. You don't build things consciously, you build things subconsciously. You decide what to build consciously, but the act of building it should be done subconsciously. What do you mean, Coach J? Imagine trying to run as fast as you can consciously. Imagine you about the race and you say, hey, I gotta win this race. So subconscious mind, step to the side. I'm taking over. All right, you're marked, get set, go. And you go, okay, let me lift my left leg up as high as I can, and let me push it down, and let me put my right leg up. How's that? The other person finished, and you haven't even taken the first step yet because you're trying to consciously move your body. You're trying to consciously, no, you use your conscious mind to decide what to do, but once a decision has been reached, you let the subconscious mind do the moving. Does that make sense? Can you make your heart beat faster? What's going on, Sin? Can you make your heart beat faster? Yes or no, guys? What y'all think? What's going on, Lundy? Man, I wouldn't even try to stop him. I would just move, Nicholas. I would just move, Nicholas. What's going on, Gary? How you doing? Welcome to the live. What y'all think? Can you make your heart beat faster? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. How? Can you make your heart beat? Can you make your heart beat faster by saying, hey, beat faster? Hey, beat faster. Hey, stupid, beat faster. Beat faster. Will that work? Running. That could make your heart beat faster. What about watching a scary movie? That'll probably make your heart beat faster, right? What about, like, I can remember one time I was in Walmart and I couldn't find my daughter for like 10 minutes. My heart was jumping out of my chest. So you see how I can make my heart beat faster, but I don't make it beat faster by using willpower. I make it beat faster by focus. I made it can beat faster in a response to what I'm thinking about or as a response to what I'm doing, but it doesn't beat faster by me trying to will it to beat faster. Does that make sense? If you want to be a better speaker, you don't become a better speaker by saying, all right, I'm gonna have good hand movement. I'm gonna cut the stage into 3 sections. I'm gonna tie in examples for my auditory people. I'm gonna tie in examples for my kinesthetic people. I'm gonna stand up straight. You're about to go out there and look like a robot. You're about to go out there and look like a robot. If you want to be a better speaker, your job is to give the subconscious mind a vivid picture of what a successful speaker looks like. Paint and describe a vivid end goal to your subconscious mind. Give it metaphors, give it imagery, give it thoughts, give it feelings, give it a lot of emotion, and consciously get out of the way. Appreciate your football. Does that make sense? And your subconscious mind gonna accidentally say, take this hand, put it here. Subconscious mind gonna say, not yet. Put a pause right there. Let that shit sit. You just made a real good point. The subconscious mind gonna automatically do all of this stuff that you're trying to consciously do. You got to learn to trust your subconscious mind. But equally as important to trust in it is you got to give it what it needs to perform. You got to give it an end goal. You got to give it a clear picture of what you want. And you got to stop giving it so much information about what you don't want. Because one of the things that you got to understand about the subconscious mind is that the subconscious mind does not negate information. If I go home and I say, hey, baby, don't get mad. She's going to say, well, why am I not getting mad, Jay? What happened for me to what did you do for me to not get mad? Go ahead. I'm not mad. What do you have to tell me? I'm not. She doesn't know how to not get mad. Does that make sense? You can't tell the subconscious mind what not to do. Tell it what to do. If I say, hey guys, I'm serious. Pay attention, okay? I'm serious. Whatever you do, do not think about a pink elephant. I'm serious. Whatever you do, listen to me. Do not think about a pink elephant. What's the first thing you think about when I say don't think about a pink elephant? You got to stop telling your subconscious mind what not to do. Don't screw this up. Don't stumble over the words. Don't forget to tell yourself what to do. I'm about to go live. Subconscious mind. This is what I need from you. I need shoulders back, chest out, chin up, clear positive thoughts. Shoulders back, chin up, chest out, clear positive thoughts. That's what I need. And you start to imagine yourself shoulders back, chest out, chin up. You start to imagine in the direction of what you want. And you spend some time imagining enough to get the momentum going, then you go live and you let the subconscious mind do the work. Most people do the opposite before they go live. Hey, I'm about to go live. Oh man, I hope I don't mess this up. What if nobody don't show up? Then they get in their imagination and start imagining people not showing up. They start imagining sitting on the live by themselves. They start imagining what they don't want, then wonder why they nervous. Well, you're supposed to feel nervous when you focused on what you don't want. No shit, you feel anxious when you focused on what you don't want. Yeah, that's how neurology works. That's exactly how your body works. Yeah, you probably should feel nervous if you're standing at the edge of a cliff looking down saying, man, that's a long fall. Yeah, you probably should be nervous if you, in fact, you got a problem if you're looking at the edge of a cliff and you like are inches away from falling to your death and you feel nothing. That's a problem. So good job. Your body is doing, if you feel nervous and you thinking about things that make you nervous, good job. That means your nervous system works. It's responding to what you're focusing on. Good job. Start focusing on what you want. Start focusing on what you want and watch what happens to the nervousness. Start focusing on what you want and watch how you accidentally find some really good ideas. Start focusing on what you want and watch how you accidentally start getting motivated. Watch how you accidentally start getting inspired. You got to start focusing on what you want. But we always got to go back to block one. You don't know what to focus on until you take the time to get clear about what you want. You got to answer that question. What do I want? What do I want? Since I can be, do, and have anything I want. Since I'm a powerful creator, what do I want? What do I want? And don't stop at the surface. Dead. Jay, I want to work out 3 times a week. What do you want? I just told you I want to work out 3 times a week. Nah, that's what you think you got to do to get what you want. What do you want? What do you want? This could work in dating life too. This work in everything. Dating, building a business, raising children, getting your marriage back on track, losing weight. Every problem is a thinking problem. Every problem is a thinking problem. That number you see when you look in your bank account is a direct reflection of what's been happening in here and in here. That number you see when you look on the scale is a direct reflection of what's been going on in here and in here. The quality of your relationships is the direct reflection of what's been going on in here and in here. If you change what's happening in here and in here, the bank account ain't got no choice but to change. The bank account ain't got no choice but to change. Appreciate your mathematics. What's going on? What's going on, Dr. Frog Milk? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Does that make sense? Every problem is a thinking problem. You got to learn how to control your focus. You got to start treating your focus the way that you treat your money. Your attention, your consciousness, your focus is more valuable than money. So if I asked you, hey, can I have $100? You're gonna have some questions. You're not just gonna freely give me $100. What you need it for? When am I gonna get it back? Like, you gonna have some. I want you to start having that same type of energy. If I ask you for 100 minutes, hey, can I have 100 minutes of your time? Hey, I'm having a kickback at the house. Pull up. Who gonna be there? What we doing? What's my return on investment for giving you 100 minutes? Stop just giving away minutes. Stop just giving away focus. You'll accidentally get on TikTok and you done gave away 45 minutes. Now, it's one thing if you intentionally plan to give away 45 minutes, but if you accidentally giving away 40 minutes, time and time again, oh man, Jay, it's just not enough time in the day. Okay. You got to start thinking on purpose. You got to start using your focus on purpose. You got to start using your attention on purpose. Did you know that the word manifest means to make obvious to the mind? The word manifest means to make obvious to the mind. It don't mean to hope for. It doesn't mean to wish for. It means to make obvious to the mind. Hold on, I'm finna show you. I'm about to show you. Let's see here. Look at that. Manifest. Clear or obvious to the eye or the mind. You see that? Look at these synonyms. Similar. Look at these synonyms. Obvious, clear, apparent, plain, evident. So if you making it obvious to your mind that the gas costs too much and the eggs are too expensive and you can't be successful because the government is doing this and the shutdown and this person, if that's what you're making obvious to your mind, that's what you manifest. If you're making it obvious to your mind, things never work out for me, and I can't win for losing, it's just too much, I got to think. If that's what you're making obvious to your mind, that's what you're manifesting. You got to start getting intentional with what you make obvious to your mind. You got to stop letting other people hand you their limitations. Oh, you getting in that industry? I tried that didn't work. It's oversaturated. That's your reality. Thanks for sharing, but that's your reality. I know a lot of people in the self-help space. Jay, I'm about to jump ship, man. I can't do it. People are not investing in self-development. They'll buy Chris Brown tickets, they'll buy Beyonce tickets, but they're not investing in self-development. That's your reality. I beg to differ. my CRM is full of new leads. I got lots of people reaching out. The phone is ringing over here. I got a waiting list over here. That's your reality. But so many times people are so quick, especially if it's a person they love and trust, to just accept their, oh, wow, man, I didn't know the market was oversaturated. I didn't know that. Stop letting other people hand you that's their reality. That's their thoughts. That's their limiting beliefs that created their result. It's people in this same economy in the same field as you, in the same zip code as you, that's having a completely different result. And if you go looking for excuses as to why, you are a creator. You're going to find some really good excuses why. But if you go look for a path to get that same result, if you go look for a method, what are they doing that I'm not doing? What are they thinking that I'm not thinking? What can I learn from them? If you use that same creative power to reverse engineer what they're doing, don't spin on what they're doing and show up in the market, you can get a result. It's all about what are you making obvious to your mind? What are you making? It's easy to say, well, Jay, he's white and his dad had that. Okay, cool. Well, you don't got a time machine. You gonna have the deck you're dealt. So are you finna sit with that story, or are you finna create one that actually moves you where you want to go? Well, Jay, you don't understand. I don't want to understand. I don't want to understand. Because to understand is to sit in the frequency with you. I can feel where you're coming from, and I can wish better for you, but you got to stop needing people to come join you in the frequency that you're sitting in, the frequency that you don't want to be in. Why do you want somebody to come join you in a feeling that you don't even want to be in? You got to start leaning into abundance. You got to stop being a hater. When you see somebody doing the thing that you want to do, you shouldn't get, oh, well, of course he's doing that. You should see it as proof. It's possible. Oh man, it's possible. Every time you see somebody doing something you want to do, get excited. Every time you see somebody having something that you want to have, get excited. Every time you see somebody being something that you want to be, get excited. That's proof. That means it's possible. He can do it. I can do that. Okay, boom. And one of the things I always tell my clients is, I would love it for you. What's going on, Kenya? I don't know what's going on TikTok. My phone just froze. Hold on, YouTube. We're going to wait on TikTok to catch up. Y'all can see me over here? I don't know if it overheated. Okay, there we go. What's going on, Kenya doll? What's going on, Jacqueline? But I would love it for you if you could become the type of person that can see, look at this and see an oak tree. This is not an acorn. This is an oak tree. I would love it for you if you become oak trees where other people see acorns. I would love it for you if you became the type of person that could see full-blown business where other people say, man, that's a good idea. Too bad the economy. This is an oak tree. This is an oak tree. I always have my clients walk around. Put acorns in the cup holder of your car. Put an acorn on your desk. Put an acorn on your kitchen counter. Every time you see that acorn, I want you to look at that acorn and use your willpower to see an oak tree. It's going to change the way you approach life. It's going to change how you use your imagination. This condition yourself to see this as an oak tree. Condition yourself to see this and your mind accidentally say, look at that oak tree. I'm holding an oak tree in my hands, and it's going to change the way you think. Because you're going to, without even trying, you're going to say, wait a minute. If God can put a whole entire oak tree inside of here, I can only imagine what God put inside of me. I can only imagine what God put inside of me. If it's a 100-foot oak inside of this, look at my head compared to the size of this. If God can fit an oak tree inside here, I can only imagine what he can fit in this big head of mine. You got to start using your mind on purpose. You got to start thinking on purpose. You got to start feeling on purpose. And that's going to require you to get clear about what you want. That's going to require you to know what you want. You can't get what you want until you know what you want. Coach J, I don't know what I want. Start thinking about it. Coach J, help me find. I can't. It's in you. You got to start making time. You got to turn that screen off sometimes. You got to get off TikTok sometimes. You got to get off YouTube sometimes and sit with just you. Sit with your own thoughts. Stop being afraid of your thoughts. Stay your thoughts. Sit with them. Coach J, on board. Close your eyes. like, what's this? All this bored? You don't always got to have some type of external stimulus. When do you make time to sit with your own thoughts? When do you make time to unpack your own thoughts? When do you make time to be still and know that I am God? Be still. You don't always got to be watching YouTube shorts. You don't always got to be watching TikToks. When do you ever sit down and just let your thoughts unpack themselves? When do you do that? If you don't do that, I'm not surprised that you don't know what you want. I'm not surprised that you don't know what you want. You aren't making any time for your thoughts to unpack. Figure out what you want, man. Not knowing what you want is costing you what you want. If you can think it, you can do it. If you can't think it, you can't do it. If you don't know what it is, you can't think it. Therefore, you can't do it. You are a human. You are a creator. You're made in the image of a limitless God. It's not that you can't do it. Most of the time, the problem is you haven't taken time to get clear about what it is. You got a half-baked goal and wondering why you don't got the motivation. A half-baked goal isn't going to motivate you. Think about it. Let's make it real plain. We all grown here. When you look at a attractive person, if you stare at an attractive person and just let your imagination do what your imagination does, do you got to try to get aroused? If you see somebody that you're attracted to and you go, damn, she look good, do you got to try to notice them? Do you got to try to say, do they look good, yes or no? Or do you go, wow, they look good? they look, and your imagination starts to go to work. And if you don't interrupt your imagination, your body gonna respond. If you just let your imagination and your focus start working together, you're gonna get aroused on accident. The same thing gonna happen if you get an attractive goal. If you get a goal that you are attracted to, you ain't gotta try to come up with willpower. You ain't gotta try to get motivated. Focus on that goal that you're attracted to, and you're gonna get activated. You're gonna get aroused. Now, if it's a goal you're not attracted to, no shit. It's not arousing you. You're not attracted to it. If it's a business you're not attracted to, if it's an industry you're not attracted to, you just saw so-and-so doing it on TikTok and they making money, so you finna do it so you can get some money Jay, I'm not motivated. That goal is not attractive to you. Get an attractive goal. Get an attractive goal. Does that make sense? What's going on, D? Get a goal that you are attracted to. Figure out what you want. What's going on, South? How you doing? Get a goal that you're attracted to. When you get a goal that you're attracted to, you're going to accidentally get inspired. You're going to accidentally get motivated. You're going to accidentally come up with some really good ideas. You're going to accidentally start listening to podcasts that help you out. You're going to accidentally start reading some books that help you out. You're going to accidentally meet you a mentor. You're going to accidentally stumble across an investor. Figure out what you want, what you really want. At a subconscious level, figure out what you want. I deleted my social media and now I'm writing novels. I realized spending too much time on social media when off work, and now I use that time to be creative and be on a fun ride. I love that. I love that for you. Any questions? I'm finna get ready to land in a little bit. I'm finna get ready to shut down and go work on my mind in a little bit. Take time to work on your mind, man. Take time to work on your mind. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you'll accidentally do some really cool stuff. Prioritize rewiring what's going on in here and in here. And I'm telling you, you're going to accidentally do some amazing stuff out there. You're going to do it on accident. As you start rewiring what's going on in here and in here, if you start rewiring what's going on in here and in here, tell me, you'll accidentally start negotiating different. You'll accidentally start pricing your services different. You accidentally start changing your body language. You accidentally start saying stuff that the old you wouldn't say. Accidentally. And as it come out of your mouth, you're going to be so proud of you. You're going to accidentally start seeing your growth. People, how long will it take to change? As long as it takes. But the time going to pass anyway. And the thing is, the change is going to be like the wind. The change is going to be like the wind. You're not going to see the change, but you're going to see the leaves moving. You're not going to see the change, but you're going to see the flag in the air waving. You're not going to see the new neural pathways developing, but you're going to see your boss say, hey, this is the raise. And you're going to say, hey, boss, I think you missed the zero. You're going to see yourself standing taller. You're going to see yourself more sure of yourself. Why do people who affirm nothing happens almost when you forget and let... Why do people who affirm nothing happens almost when you forget and let go, things happen? Because to need is to not have, dream woman. Your videos has been a daily meditation for me every morning. It's set my day right. Thanks for being on the channel, seeing and watching them for the videos. I got a lot of those coming. I already got the next 3 YouTube videos cut up and ready to go. It's as simple as hitting upload. So those gonna be coming out real soon. But yeah, dream woman, when you need something, you energetically don't have it. And when you energetically don't have it, you can't come up with the ideas that align with having it. When you mentally and emotionally don't have it, you're not gonna have it physically. Okay, to smoke and save money, do what works for you. Useful or not useful? That's what I always ask my clients. If it's useful, double down on it. If it's not useful, you probably should stop. Useful or not useful? You the expert of your life. I can't tell you what you need to do and what you don't need to do. Useful or not useful? Get in the habit of asking yourself that moment by moment. On Monday it might be useful. On Tuesday it might be. On Wednesday it might not be useful again. On Thursday it might be. Maybe it's only useful on weekends, but Monday through Friday is more benefit. I don't know, man. Everybody's life is different. I did a video saying affirmations don't work because most people don't do affirmations right. Affirmations work. They're just more efficient ways to get what you want. Yeah, most people do affirmations from a place of lack. Let me do these affirmations so I can get this money that I don't have. Let me go do these affirmations so I can manifest this lover that I don't have. So the energy Every time they do that affirmation to get this thing that they don't have, they're wiring their nervous system to not have. So it's not so much that affirmations don't work. Affirmations executed incorrectly, it don't work. It's like putting yourself on a seesaw, and you end pretty much exactly where you started. So they're not hurting you. They're just not getting you no closer to where you want to be. It's one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. I am rich, your nervous system gonna know you're not. I am rich, your nervous system gonna know you're not. I am rich, your nervous system gonna know you're not. So it's just kind of like a tug of war with two equally yoked people. What's going on, Reborn? Repetition is secondary to emotion. Emotion is the biggest driver when it comes to manifest. Hell, emotion is the biggest driver when it comes to hypnosis. It's about creating an emotion strong enough to send the subconscious mind in the opposite direction. The subconscious mind speaks feeling and emotion. It doesn't care about logic, reason, analysis, willpower, and decision making. Got to realize Source doesn't speak English. Source doesn't speak Spanish. Source doesn't speak Mandarin. Source speaks energy. Forget about the words. Are you sitting in the energy of having that thing? That's why I don't have my clients do affirmations. I set up anchors for my clients. I set up triggers where every time you see certain colors, it'll flood your nervous system with this feeling. Forget about the words. I want you to be able to latch onto that feeling by simply deciding to latch onto that feeling. Now, if you want to do affirmations alongside that, go ahead. But you don't gotta say something 1,000 times a day to make it happen. If you just get in the right energy, if you get on the right frequency, reality has no choice but to start to reflect that back to you. Like the example we were using a few days ago in the live, if I go put this cup in the freezer and I walk off, I don't got to get my notebook and write the water is freezing, the water is frozen, the water is frozen. I am so thankful that the water is frozen. If I just put it in the freezer and leave it in the freezer, it's going to freeze. I don't got to do affirmations. I don't got to make a vision board and look at ice cubes. I just got to leave the cup in the freezer. If you are manifesting a successful business, if you're manifesting a more confident version of yourself, you don't got to go, I am confident, 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 I am. You got to say, if I was already confident, how would I feel? And you got to teach your nervous system how to latch onto that feeling. You can latch onto that feeling without ever opening your mouth. And your job is to start practicing that feeling as often as you can. Spending time in that feeling. Now, if you want to do affirmations, cool. But you don't got to do affirmations to reach for the feeling. Create a scene in your head that implies that it's already done. Live that scene out. And I want you to, my goal with my clients is always to get them so good at creating that feeling that they create it just by deciding to. Then anxiety come up, reach for that feeling. Doubt come up, reach for that feeling. And you start to just interrupt the old pattern with that feeling. Nope, I'm not doing anxious. I'm abundant now. Check your bank account, see not enough money, old feelings of not enough money and lack. Nope, I'm abundant now. Every time your nervous system try to go to lack, you say, nope, I'm abundant now. But you're saying that without ever opening your mouth. Because what people do is they get more focused on the words than the feeling. It's not about changing what your mouth is doing. It's about changing what your nervous system is doing. It's not about changing what your mouth is doing. This is about changing what your endocrine system is doing. And this is about teaching your body this new pattern so that it becomes your personality. Confidence is when your nervous system starts to do that for you. So that's my beef with affirmations. I'm not even gonna say they don't work. It's just I find with most people they hinder more than they help. Everybody I work with, like, man, if somebody come in and they smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and they leave and they done smoking, that would be an example of that. I was sharing some results the other day. I had a guy, a 13-year-old who aged up in hockey. And when you age up in hockey, I believe his mom was saying the gap is 13 to 16, all playing the same league. So he's going from this 12-year-old league to being in this 13 to 16-year-old leagues. You got to know a 16-year-old is a lot bigger than a 13-year-old boy. And he was paralyzed. He couldn't do what he needed to do. He knew what to do, but he was so worried about one of the bigger boys hitting him that he couldn't go out there and perform. And in a very short period of time, this is the exchange that me and his mom had. Give me a second. Where is that? I can tell you something that just happened in my life. My daughter had brain surgery last Friday, and she went home Saturday. She wasn't even in the hospital 24 hours. Her surgeon said, "Hey, I've been doing this for a long time. I ain't never seen nobody come back from brain surgery like that." Because leading up to brain surgery, we weren't talking about it's gonna take you time to heal. Let's talk about the power of her immune system. Let's talking about her strength. Let's talking about her ability to shake back fast. So we planted expectation in her to heal quickly, and her body followed that expectation. Let me find this text message. Give me a second. Here we go. I think I showed y'all this on the live the other day. I'm gonna read it to y'all, then I'll let y'all see it. So I text mom and say, "Hey, just checking in. How's our boy?" She said, "I was actually going to send you a text. We were just in New York. Man, not sure what you said to this boy, but you have unleashed his beast. He's playing like a mini Sidney Crosby. Been scoring goals and having fun playing the game he loves. He did so good, he got player of the game and player of the tournament and got the team hat. I honestly didn't think he'd get that this season. Thank you." What did we do? We changed the way he thought, and we changed the way he felt. When he first came, we was talking, I was like, "So what are you thinking about as you're playing?" He was telling me, I can't remember the exact words he used, but he said something to the effect of, "I'm thinking about those big guys squashing me." And when he said it, he was like, "Squashing me." I'm like, okay, well, yeah, no shit, you're paralyzed on the ice if you're thinking about being squashed. So how would it feel if you were unsquashable? How would it feel if you knew for a fact that little things come in small packages? How would it feel if at the front of your mind you were thinking the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and you're bigger than me, it's a pretty good chance you're slower than me? So then one of the things I had him do is show me with your hands how hard you think one of these guys could hit you. And he stretched his hands all the way out. I said, "What's the hardest you ever been hit?" And he put his hands like this. I say, "So do you see the gap between your imagination and reality? I want you to take what your imagination doing and I want you to bring it right here. How does that feel?" He said, "That feel a lot better. Put that inside of your body. Put that inside of your body. Let's go figure out the lies that are paralyzing you, and let's figure out the truth of who you are." We did that over the course of 2-hour-long sessions, and then that was the result. His mom said, "I don't know what you said," so I had to remind him of who the fuck he was. And that's my approach to hypnosis. It's not so much about fixing you because you're not broken. Somewhere along the line, you forgot who you were. My only job is to remind you of who you are. And when you remember who you will accidentally assume the body language that aligns with that. When you remember who you will accidentally start walking in the rooms like who you are, because that's who you are. Shed the lies and remember who you are. A baby is only born with 2 fears. Did you know that? A baby is born with 2 fears. A fear of falling and a fear of loud noises. Any other fear that you have outside of that is a fear that you learned. And if you can learn it, you can unlearn it. Remember who you are. Come home, prodigal son. Shoulders back, chest out, chin up. If you can think it, you can do it. If you think anxiety, you're going to do anxiety. If you're thinking about getting squashed, you're going to be out there acting like somebody who's thinking about getting squashed. But if you're thinking about, "I'm fast, I'm strong, and even if you do hit me, I'm going to get up quicker than you. I'm unbreakable. You can't stop me." Now, if it's one thing to say that with your mouth, but when we get your cells saying that on your behalf, you ain't got to open your mouth. It's this energetic field around you that does the talking for you. Shut up. Forget the affirmations. What is your energy saying? People feel you before they hear you. People feel you before they see you. I don't give a damn what you're saying. How do you feel? A lot of hypnotists go, "I'm surprised you even get clients. You dress like a." I am a successful hypnotist. Therefore, whatever I put on, that's how a successful hypnotist dresses. You don't get to tell me how a successful hypnotist dresses. You aren't a successful hypnotist. I am a successful hypnotist. So if I put on sweatpants and a t-shirt, that's how a successful hypnotist dresses. Does that make sense? Well, Jay, that's not gonna work. Get in the energy and then pick out your clothes. Get in the energy and then pick up how you show. Get in the energy. Because without the energy, a 3-piece suit not gonna save you. Without the energy, a MacBook not gonna save you. Some people so busy trying to look the part that they never develop the mindset that drives the part. How do you think and feel? And if you master the art of thinking and feeling on purpose, man, I'm telling you, for the most part, you can wear what you want to wear. You can talk how you want to talk. You can show up how you want to show up. Without that energy, talking a certain way, not going to save you. Without that energy, putting that degree on that wall, not going to save you. Without the right energy, without the right thinking and feeling, it's not going to save you. Networking don't work without the right thinking and feeling. Live streaming doesn't work without the right thinking and feeling. You can have a real pretty website, but without the right thinking and feeling, it's just a pretty website. Jay, I've invested in this. I'm using ClickFunnels. I'm using Go High Level. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Nothing that you do is going to work until you get into the right energy. You got to get in the energy of habit. What's going on, soul? How you doing? What is up? What is up? What is up? What's going on, beloved? For sure. For sure. Get in the energy. You don't wait on the result to get in the energy. Get in the energy and watch how you stumble into the result. I can't tell you how many times I accidentally been in the right place at the right time. And things just happen. Things just work out, man. But you got to give yourself permission to get in the energy. Well, Jay, I'll feel good when. Jay, my confidence will go up when. Jay, when I get my new MacBook, I'm gonna start making content. Jay, when I'm getting a new iPhone. When I get my new iPhone, now, feel it now. Like the thing that I love about working on your mind is you don't gotta be at the gym to work on your mind. You don't gotta be at the library to work on your mind. You don't gotta be at a university to work on your mind. You can lay in the bed and work on your mind. You can sit on your balcony and work on your mind. You could be riding the city bus and working on your mind. You could go outside and smoke and work on your mind. Work on your mind. Get in the habit to ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? And start thinking in that direction. Your body is following your thoughts. The time that you're wasting thinking about, feeling about what you don't want, you got to start spending that time thinking about what you want. Think about what you want. As you think about what you want, I'm telling you that thing gonna start to pick up momentum. People who come in my live a lot, y'all know I love the analogy of being pregnant. When a woman is pregnant, she doesn't walk around and go, okay, I need 100 trillion cells. You know I can get 100 trillion cells? I need lungs, I need kidney, I need a heart. Are you using your heart? Can I have your heart? Like crazy lady, get away from. She don't got to go out and collect the parts and build the baby. She just has to give the baby an environment to grow in. Think about that in terms of whatever it is you're building. You don't got to build the business. What you got to do is not abort the business. If you just let the business keep growing inside of you, the name gonna find you, the logo gonna find you, the ideas and the mark, all of that stuff is gonna grow inside of you, and at some point you're gonna go into labor. Your job is not to build a baby. Your job is to just not abort the baby and let it keep growing inside of you. If you allow the baby to grow inside of you, like I didn't consciously sit down and create I Coach Bosses. I Coach Bosses found me. Abundant living, I didn't sit down and consciously create abundant living found me. Creators create. I didn't sit down and consciously go, I need a creators create actually found me one day when I was streaming. I said, guys, creators create, and as it's coming out of my mouth, I said, ooh, I like that. I gotta do something with that. Let me write that down real quick. I like that. That's delicious. That, like, I wasn't sitting down saying I need another stream of income. I need another stream of income. I need another. No, I was pregnant with this idea that I'm abundant. I get paid to play. I'm open to things that I can make money doing things that I would do for absolutely free. And I'm hanging out in that frequency. I'm hanging out in that frequency. I'm open to new ideas. I'm open to new situations. I'm open to opportunities that allow me to make a lot of money doing things I would do for free. Well, Jay, what about the economy? I ain't thinking about that. Jay, what about the shutdown? I ain't thinking about that. I'm open to new situations and opportunities that allow me to make a lot of money doing things that I would do for absolutely free. Then good ideas should start finding me. Good ideas start finding me. And good ideas bring good energy with them. That's the dope thing about a good idea. When you get a real good idea, you get a burst of energy. A lot of times people go dissipate that energy talking about it. Stop going, like, you ever been really excited about something and you go tell 2 or 3 people about it and the energy kind of dies off? Yeah, you use the energy talking about it. You should have been using that energy and building it up. Keep it in. Keep it in. That excitement to share, keep that and use that energy to magnetize the idea. Use that energy to keep the idea going. You know how, like, when a lot of people pregnant, they don't even tell people till the second trimester. The first trimester, they don't talk about it. They don't know how it's gonna go. It's too unpredictable in the first trimester. They don't want to tell people. You gotta start having that same type of energy with your idea. By the time you start sharing and telling people about it, you should be so motivated. You should have so much momentum going that they couldn't talk you out of it even if they wanted to. Does that make sense? You don't gotta build it, you just gotta get pregnant with it. You don't gotta build it, you just gotta stay pregnant, stay leaning in that direction, stay talking in that direction. And I'm telling you, the ideas you're gonna wake up with ideas. You're gonna be driving down the street and get an idea. You're gonna be in the shower taking a bath and get an idea. I love just sitting on my balcony doing nothing. I get some of my best ideas out there. I never sit down and brainstorm ideas. I know what I want. I know the energy that I like to be in. I know I got my core values. My core values are have fun, remind them who they are. Have fun and remind them who they are. I sit in the energy of having fun and reminding people who they are. And from there, I get ideas for books. I get ideas for content. I get ideas for packages. I get ideas for seminars. We got a seminar coming up on December 27th called Reset and Rise. I did not sit down and go, hey, I want to do an end of the year seminar. I was sitting on the balcony one day just relaxing. Cannabis may or may not have been involved. I'm just out there relaxing. And as hell for entrepreneurs, where they can release everything that's holding them back, handle whatever issues they bring into the room, and send them into 2026 feeling unstoppable. Maybe you could call it Reset and Rise or something like that. I'm like, yeah, that is a good. Now I grab the notebook. But I didn't grab the notebook and try to look for the idea. I'm just in the frequency, hanging out. Good idea found me. Reset and rise. You know what? I want 10 entrepreneurs. I don't want a big group of people. I want this to be a high touch. I want this to be real high touch. I want 10 entrepreneurs. We locking ourselves in a hotel, in a like hotel conference room for 8 hours. I'm spending 8 hours with 10 entrepreneurs. I'm spending 8 hours with 10 entrepreneurs. I'm gonna hypnotize the shit out of them. And I'm not even showing up with an agenda. I'm not showing up with a plan. I'm gonna get in a room with 10 entrepreneurs and I'm gonna ask them, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? Oh, you're afraid of public speaking? Take a deep breath in. Deep sleep all the way down. You can stand on any stage with unshakable confidence. Any room you walk in, that's instantly your room. Your only limit is your own imagination. Use that imagination right now to picture yourself standing in the front of this room, shoulders back, chest down, chin up. Nod your head when you can imagine it. In a moment, I'm gonna count from 1 to 3. And when I say 3, you're gonna open your eyes. You're gonna go to the front of the room. And you're gonna give a 5-minute presentation. Nod your head if you understand. 1, 2, 3, eyes open. Go to the front of the room. We gonna handle whatever they show up in the room with. And I go in the house and I'm gleaming. My girl can always tell when I got an idea. She say, what you thinking about? I say, I'm finna do an end of the year event called Reset and Rise. And I started talking to her about it. And I'm fortunate enough, through enough trial and error, I found my person to get excited about stuff to get me excited. So I started telling her about it. She said, well, what you gonna feed them? I said, I ain't gonna feed them nothing. She said, Jay, you can't keep them for 8 hours and not feed them. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna work on the menu. So now she working on the menu. She taking care of the stuff that I don't want to do because I wasn't gonna feed. Bring some snacks. Bring some Slim. I don't know. Like, just you getting this experience. That's what I'm selling. We start working on the menu right away. The next week, we spend the next week looking at like 3 or 4 venues. The first venue we looked at ended up being the one that we went with, and the room is cheaper than I thought it would be. I'm in my mind thinking that the room gonna cost $4,000 or $5,000. Grand, big, pretty ass room that they gonna set up. The room is $1,500. The room is $1,500. The cheapest ticket to the event costs $5,000. So one ticket paid for everything, and the rest of the right. But this is an idea that found me. Stop chasing ideas. Stop chasing money. Stop chasing things. Get in the energy you would be in if you already had the thing, and let the ideas find you. It's gonna call you. You're gonna have to relax. You're gonna have to get at ease. You're gonna have to stop talking about what you don't want, and you're gonna have to start practicing being in the energy of what you want. But as you get in that energy, I'm telling you, some real cool things gonna find you. Some real amazing ideas gonna find you. Does that make sense? Y'all rocking with me? Questions, comments, concerns? I'm finna get ready to get off of here. I'm finna get ready to get off of here. What's going on, Brittany B? How you doing? Thank y'all for kicking it with me, man. TikTok, YouTube, we had some fun today. I'm pretty sure I'll be going live tonight, and we're gonna have some more fun. We're gonna have some more fun. Man, it's really neck and neck, but I think it look like TikTok won. Cafe say, hey, I'm a winner. Who won? It look like TikTok took it. It wasn't really fair because I've been going live on TikTok way more than I've been going live on YouTube. But yeah, TikTok won. TikTok won. All right. Kiana said thumbs down. All right, y'all. I'm finna get ready to shut down. I love y'all. Do you ignore the news when the economy is bad? I ignore the news whether the economy good or bad. I don't need a play-by-play of what's going on. I don't need a play-by-play to know what's going on. The play-by-play gonna stress you out. What's going on, Levon? What is going on? What's up, Slim? All right, y'all. I'm shutting down. I don't got any clients today. At least I don't think so. I think I got some consultations. Let me check my calendar real quick, make sure I'm not lying. I think I had one appointment and she rescheduled. Yep, I don't got any clients today, so I might even end up back live. We'll see. Yep, thanks for coming, man. I enjoy these lives just as much as y'all do, if not more. But yeah, I'm gonna go take me a walk, and then after I go home and get settled in, I might end up back live. But I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it.